love that song. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Are you super excited that it's Wednesday? It's my Spooky Studio Wednesday. And as you can see, I'm going to talk about a subject that I could talk extremely easily about. Come here, I want to tell you something. So, I have social anxiety, believe it or not. And I just have a very difficult time talking about most things, except for one grouping of items. And that would be everything about Robert Englund and A Nightmare on Elm Street. Someone could come up to me and be like, wow, can you believe what's happening? This is just insane. By the way, did you? And they just talk. And I'd be like, and I'd be trying so hard to make a joke. But someone comes up to me and they're like, man, can you believe that they changed the stripes on the sweater arms from, well, rather solid red to stripes? And then be like, oh my gosh, can you believe that? That's interesting. I wonder what that whole deal is. And did you know that and I could just blah, 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 and then have like a conversation back and forth. But the moment that conversation ends, I'll be like, which is why I'm very excited about today's subject, Robert Englund and his new documentary. Hi, friends. Hi, everybody. Welcome. So happy to have you here. Means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I know you tuned in just to hear me talk about A Nightmare on Elm Street because, I do love it. I do find it fancy. But before we get into that, I want to hit you with some hotly hot news-ish, debatable, that I learned about just a couple of hours ago. Well, I guess there's a Twitter account that's devoted to leaking insider information from Hollywood, but like movie news. And a friend of mine who has kind of been keeping me abreast with a contact that he has and the inner workings of everything that could potentially happen with another Nightmare on Elm Street. He was telling me they're close to something. You'll start hearing news very soon. And that was in, I think, early June. So not too far after this account leaked some very interesting information regarding our beloved A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. They say that they are currently aware of a requel in the works with Blumhouse. And of course, it's something that they really, really want to get done. We all know people have been vying for A Nightmare on Elm Street for a very long time since the Craven estate won over the rights after the legal battle with Warner Brothers. And apparently Warner Brothers is not making the movie. It's going to be Blumhouse. I'm so curious what you guys think. I have the utmost faith in Blumhouse. I know that they will probably create a movie and multiple movies, it looks like, that I will enjoy, because I don't think I've ever met a Blumhouse movie I didn't like. It was always like the very basis of I liked that. So my hopes are very low. My expectations are very low, but at the same time, they're higher because it's Blumhouse and I feel comfy having my baseline a little bit higher, but I believe that it's run by horror fans and they will do it justice. And if it's a requel, does that mean that Nancy's coming back because it's a requel to the first movie? Is that what that means? That means we're getting Heather back, right? If that happens, listen, love Robert. I really do, honestly. And I was looking through this account's comments and they were saying they're considering one of two options. One is Robert Englund comes back, and the other one is a CGI Freddy. And I'm like, wow, it's just the worst of two worlds. You either go really far in a direction that, everybody wants, everybody looks forward to, or in the other opposite direction that, oh God, just please no CGI Freddy. Unless it's like, just maybe do a deep fake. I don't know, but maybe that's what they're going for. But I honestly don't want that. Just put another actor in. But if they want to do the deep fake route, make sure Freddy that is in it for a very, very short amount of time, because when people do that, you could tell and it just gets a little out of hand. And then bring Heather back as Nancy, and it'll be the best. Okay, I want that to happen so badly. But anywho, I think I've rambled on enough about the potential Nightmare on Elm Street news. Yay. CGI Freddy, I know then. Just do a cartoon, right? Or a video game. But honestly, I feel like I'm just very excited about this. and I won't be fully like, it's happening. I'm going to prepare all of my existence to brace myself for this and just wake up every day and just feel that much more compelled to go on living because there's A Nightmare on Elm Street coming out. I would freak, and you best believe you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I will be asking for, just a background role. Does somebody need donuts? Does somebody want me to like go get you donuts? I'll do it. Swear. But I would love to be in a movie. But unless Bloody Disgusting or Fangoria or Dread Central or somebody ends up talking about the movie, then it's kind of up in the air. But apparently this guy has been right with Insidious 5 and some other movies. So there's a good chance. And of course, if he is right now, maybe things could change because it is Hollywood. Pay your actors and get us A Nightmare on Elm Street. Do it all, studios. Let's go. All right. So welcome to today's subject, which is the Steelbook of Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, the Robert Englund Story, which was put out by Cinedigm. I always pronounce things weird sometimes. Cinedigm. And they released this Steelbook on yes, indeed, David. Happy birthday, Wes Craven. Oh my gosh. I got so wrapped up because that was originally going to be my intro. I got so wrapped up talking about the nightmare news that I completely forgot. Happy birthday, Wes Craven. You would have been 84 years old. We love you so much. We miss you every day. And I cannot go forward because I'm going to cry. But Wes means a lot to me. He's a huge role model as far as the way you think about horror movies or the way you treat people, especially on set. So we love you, Wes. And this would not exist without Wes Craven. So Cinedigm had announced that they would be releasing a collector's edition Blu-ray and a collector's limited edition Steelbook. This is the Steelbook. You got the ASMR-ness. You can hear that. I absolutely had to have it. It just came out at the end of June. There is a very weird sound coming through. Do you guys hear that? I don't know why that's happening. Give me just a second. So sorry. Oh, I know what it is. That was so weird. I think this might be it right here. This would be the problem. I am so sorry, guys. My Apple Music just went off with the Snacks and Screams theme, which was really, really weird. I was like, hold on, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? I know, Jim, I was a backer too for this, and I'm still waiting for my original copy. I got this first. Andy, let's talk. We'll talk about the Scream 7 news a little bit later on. Hey, everybody. Sorry I missed your comments. All right. So when this came out at the end of July, I knew that I had to have it. It is a something that I just got in the mail a couple days ago. And it looks like, we have the documentary available still on streaming. But this has some extras along with it. We've got Horror Icons, Nightmare Cafe with Jack Coleman, a conversation with the directors, Robert Englund Chatterbox, which made me giggle. It makes me giggle every time I see it. A peek inside the curtain, Dance Macabre, and the official trailer. If you have not seen this documentary, it is available for streaming on Screambox/Amazon Prime, and you could rent it in several other places as well, like Apple and YouTube and things. It runs about 2 hours and 6 minutes. And this Steelbook is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to pull up a regular picture so you can see it a little more. This is basically what it looks like. So you've got the cover with this beautiful art, by the way, by Creepy Duck Designs. And if you don't follow Creepy Duck, they have just incredible concept posters for the screams and the nightmares and just different horror movies that they put together that has this dreamy, really cool rock and roll element about it. You could see that they're very colorful. Absolutely one of my favorite artists on the internet, and they did this artwork. And then inside we have that picture of Robert from Nightmare 1 slouched down. And then on the back, we've got the shadow of Robert, which, by the way, is actually not fully Robert. The picture that you see of his face, whenever you see this picture in the documentary or a picture of it or whenever, that is a body double. That's not actually Robert in those parts. And they just kind of superimposed his face on this. So like here, you can't really see it from where I am, but it's all shadows. And then you just see a little bit of Robert's face, but you could see that in the artwork. And like the inside showed Robert sitting down there. And this Blu-ray, I'm kind of surprised how like little design there is on it. It's just kind of plain. And I was expecting like maybe continuation of this artwork on the inside or something. But there is not. But it is a beautiful cover. It's kind of heavy, not too bad, I gotta say. And it's got just all, this is so cool because it's got, you know, 3 of Robert's characters with modern Robert in it, some more characters, and the glove. And then on the back we have that. I absolutely love this smoky look because it like creeps up on you. This picture of that we have here of just these rolls and Freddy kind of rising up into Robert and everything that Robert's done, because honestly, that's kind of what the documentary is about, isn't it? Another thing about this case is you can't really see it. Let me see if I could see over here, but the coloring on this is, it's marvelous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It has like this green tint to it. So it's like, of course, the red and then the little bit of green, like in Freddy's sweater, which is so, so, so cool. Yeah, what do you guys think of the Steelbook thus far? Isn't it pretty? I will say it's nice and compact. It's not too chunky. So that's really, really nice. I love, love, love the look of this Steelbook. The special features I want to talk about. So horror icons on this is with like Kane Hodder and Bill Moseley and Tony Todd and Doug Bradley, and they are all talking about Robert as a horror icon, but also you know, each other and then their own characters. So it's a nice little kind of conversation about general horror iconness, how people become horror icons, you know, comparing horror icons to like Vincent Price and Lon Chaney and Bela Lugosi and things like that, which is nice. Next is Nightmare Cafe with Jack Coleman. Jack was in Nightmare Cafe, which was of course another Wes Craven production that did not last really in scene, and of course Robert starred in it. And it's just a little bit more of a deep dive from Jack's perspective about working with Robert and then Nightmare Cafe as a whole. Another one is a conversation with the directors, and they kind of go back and forth talking about what the decision was for the direction to take this. And, you know, I really appreciated that because they said that they wanted this to be a whole new direction about Robert, and that they didn't want to repeat what you could find elsewhere in Never Sleep Again or in the many interviews that we currently have available of Robert. They wanted to do more in depth and different ways of looking at his career that, kind of don't exist anywhere else. And I think that they very, very much accomplished that. I'll talk more about the documentary itself after this. Robert Englund Chatterbox is just a montage of everybody talking about how much Robert can talk, how charming he is, how much people love to hear him talk, how he'll just be a character and be this weird, wild character. And then he'll come out and he'll be like, I had this trip once in Italy. And just how charming he is. I did expect it to be funnier, like just cuts and cuts and cuts of Robert just talking on and on and on, maybe with people talking about how he's a chatterbox, or just like really long blooper reels with Robert. That's kind of what I was hoping for. It was a little bit of a letdown. A peek behind the curtain, Dance Macabre, is some of Robert's castmates talking about the movie and what it was like working with Robert, kind of something very similar to Nightmare Cafe. And then, of course, there's the official trailer. I gotta say, I'm a little saddened by the current the list of the extras. Because the trailer, I mean, that's kind of a usual thing for people to have on a DVD or Blu-ray, but we could find that online. Peek behind the curtain, Nightmare Cafe are interesting. It was nice, but I guess they just had extra footage for those couple of things. Conversation with the directors, I guess that was like a Cliff Notes version instead of having a commentary. Robert Englund Chatterbox, like I said, I would have loved something different, horror icons, a nice little snippet of some favorites talking about being a horror icon, etc. I don't know if I think the special features are the middle of the road, but what am I expecting? The same qualms that I have with special features, I have with the documentary. Not really qualms, but more like I wish, and kind of go from there. I genuinely feel like I would have liked more. And I guess, for the look and the feel of this Blu-ray, and now I also want to say the quality, this is so stupid. I really tried for you guys, but this was all I could come up with. This is just a comparison of what this looks like on streaming versus Blu-ray. Now, I know that I might not be at the same angle or whatever, but this is generally how I feel that the difference between streaming and a physical Blu-ray copy, why it makes all the difference and why you should consider buying a physical copy. The streaming is brighter. There were a lot more of those little ants, that static on it. On the Blu-ray, there's more contrast. There's more dimension, there's better color and less ants. Ants are still there, but it's less, and the sound quality is just so much more robust. Oh, what's happening? Why am I using these words? But there you go. There's a look as to what the difference is when you're watching it, because that is so important. Oh, I also want to mention that the play menu for this is very basic. It's like little just pictures to music and stuff. It's very basic. Yeah, from a physical standpoint, when you're watching it, there's definitely merit in going in and buying, a Blu-ray, a physical copy. Blu-rays are just so gorgeous. Special features, I guess it's a nice to have, but it's not something that I'm buying for. Like when Never Sleep Again came out with their special features and they were doing For the Love of the Glove and a little bit about the bands, like that's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted. That makes me think about the issue that I have with the doc and stuff. Okay, we'll still get into that later. And of course, just this gorgeous set here. This beautiful artwork by Creepy Duck Design. I love it. This back, the shininess, the holographic nature of it. I'm in love with it. I honestly think this is such a good purchase, a worthwhile purchase, something that you really want to buy and want to enjoy. I think there's another one that I'm going to show you in a second here, but I think this is so much cooler. And it's heavy duty, it's heavy duty. Got all that duty. So this also came out at the same time. This is a collector's Blu-ray edition. So I believe most of the Blu-rays will just have the artwork that's on the right-hand side, But on the left-hand side is going to be that particular slipcover, which is also sick. I mean, you could see all of Robert's different characters and different people that Robert has worked with. We've got Heather on the cover. We love to see that. So we so. But you can also get that. So I'm gonna test this out. Let's see. So you can get this collector's edition on Amazon, but I will say you could see the back of this, but you can't see the other slipcover, which is super weird. And if I just came across this, I'd be like, what is the difference? I don't know. You'd have to see that. That was a picture from Bloody Disgusting. The other one is, there we go, is this. Now, this is a limited edition Walmart exclusive, so you can only get this Steelbook that I got at Walmart, and that is the price. Pretty darn good for a Steelbook, I gotta say. I expected this thing to be pretty hefty, but gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love it so much, and I think it is well worth the money. Thank you, Corey. I really appreciate the congrats on the new business venture. Yeah, the covers are just so well done. Now I want to talk about the documentary. I think this documentary is it is a very good documentary. It is a solid 4 flaming pumpkins out of a possible 5 flaming pumpkins, which is a real rating system. It's solid. It's like this group has put out Leviathan and Pennywise, the Story of It, and just really good documentaries, award-winning horror documentaries. So no surprise that the production value on this would be so great, that there's a story telling to it and it advances. I really like how for some of the different scenes that Robert describes, they use art that, because they didn't have a picture, that was very interactive. I really, really liked it. I feel like it reminded me of what we did in Fredheads. And that was nice because it just adds a little something funny, a little something fun to it. I really liked the story, how we start off with Freddy because we're like, yeah, Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger. And then it has Robert, or his body double, throwing down the glove. And then we get into Robert's journey through his life, through his career before Freddy, all of those amazing roles and the things that he did and his relationship with his parents and, you know, some of the hardships in his life. And then we get into Freddy, oh my God, the meat. It's the meat of the thing. It's what the people want. And then we're like, Freddy, and then it just trails off. But we also get like the love story of how he and Nancy met and some of that. And then at the very end, we wrap it up with him picking up the glove because it's very symbolic of Robert as an actor. He did not want to be pigeonholed for a long time. And he has said that he thinks it's, you know, he's glad that before Freddy, he got a great opportunity to like use his chops before Freddy, because if he'd have just been pigeonholed sooner, it would have kind of maybe made him upset, I guess you could say. But that also kind of reflects in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, how Robert disappears. Robert has been asked what happened to himself in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and he'd said that Robert just disappears because he doesn't want to be a part of whatever Wes is doing, which is essentially kind of Robert at the time being like, I do not want to be a part of Freddy. I want to go out. I want to go do more things. But as he talks in the documentary, he finally comes around to being like, you know, I embrace this. And that other horror icons like Vincent Price are saying, I am so blessed to have this, because being forgotten or not being memorable is terrible for an actor. So when you have people who remember you, you embrace that, you love it, you celebrate it because you're an actor. And that's what really Robert has come around to do, is be like, I am so thankful for Freddy because he is always there and he's the thing. And I've done these amazing roles because of him, but he is the thing that keeps me going. He keeps me employed when other friends of mine can't stay employed. He is the driving force. And I'm so grateful for Freddie, which is why he picks up the glove at the end. Because I've heard that Robert kind of was like, I'm done with Freddie. I'm so sick of it. But it seems, unless he's just really good at acting, that he's come to and been like, I am so thankful for this. Because Robert, I feel like if he was getting curmudgeon-y, if he was tired of Freddie, it would have showed. But he's really good at hiding it because he's so genuine with everybody. He takes his time with everybody. And if you've ever spoken to Robert, you know that you could be like, wow, that is a great satchel. And you know what satchel I'm talking about because he brings that satchel everywhere. And you'd be like, great satchel. And he'd be like, the etymology of the word satchel. And you'd be like, oh, should I have gotten a chair and maybe some popcorn? Oh, Bookie, I wish we could get a Steelbook of Fred heads, but honestly, why? Hi, Stephen. Thank you for rocking the goth call. Oh, thank you for complimenting my goth cowgirl outfit. It's on my Instagram. I would definitely wear it to HorrorCon. Hi, John. What was I saying? I was talking about Robert being, embracing Freddie, and he does. And I definitely think that he is a good man, and he, he's somebody worth meeting. And it's just such a shame that some cons have such a hard time with his line. And Robert is only one man, so there's only so much he can do. And when so many people show up for him, oopsie daisies, I'm great, John. I'm having a great, great time. Jim said, I already warned Connor that Robert may talk his ear off when we meet him. Dude, yes, totally talk his ear off. He will. I'm so curious. You have got to tell me what Robert says because you never know. Someone could go up to Robert and he could talk, answer a question or just, I don't know, go off on some tangent. You could be like, oh, yes, I think I have a pen that's blue. And he'd be like, blue. Do you know blue? And you'd be like, no, oh my gosh, don't start. Oh man, but we love Robert in this house. The one thing though, that documentaries like this and kind of it almost feels like a documentary mill, I guess you could say, because they're cranking out so many documentaries, but I think they take their time. This particular group, and it's just a lot of talking heads, a lot of pictures, a lot of talking heads. That's the talking head documentary, and there's some great stuff, but and there's new insight. So they really accomplished that by taking it a different direction. But it is like a lot of talking heads. I wish, and I guess this is why we made Fred heads because we already took care of this. We don't need to talk about it. But I wish we could have gotten like a day in the life of Robert Englund, being Robert Englund as a con. Arriving, showing up in the airport. Getting a behind the scenes look at what it's like to be Robert in this. Like right before when Robert talks about embracing the role and people talk about him meeting his fans, instead of showing a bunch of pictures of people, show some video. Maybe that's the time for a second. They could have cut it out. I don't know. If they did cut it out, they should have put it on the freaking extras. That's all I'm saying. But I just wanted to see more, more of his life, more of him, but it was very professional level, which is maybe what Robert wanted. But I sometimes feel like certain documentaries, just to keep things coming out, they just don't delve in deeper. That's why movies like Fredheads take so much longer. Jason, you are so lucky to see Robert and Heather at Spooky Empire. Honestly, I mean, I have not seen Heather since before the pandemic. That would be nice. I've seen Robert Englund a lot this year, actually. And in fact, I'm going to see him again in 2 weeks. But yeah, I would have liked some more going out and venturing out because I just think that makes documentaries so much more interesting. Or, talking to fans who've become Robert's friends, like Anas and Asia Erickson, that kind of stuff. But like I said, it's probably maybe what Robert wanted, the direction they wanted. Who knows? That's just one of my qualms about this. But I think it is a good documentary. It is a solid documentary. I loved all of the people that they got, the humor that they got. You got to see a little bit of Robert's crassness. Getting to be an older man, just very honest. Very, very honest. And so that was nice. That was nice. And just, the idea of embracing Freddie, that Robert has this giant, long career with these amazing characters. And there's one that really stood out. And now he's riding the wave and he gets to be all these cool characters that other actors, that they don't get to play because he's Robert Englund, We love Robert Englund in this house. We love Robert Englund in all the houses. We love Robert Englund in the world. This is a world that we all love Robert Englund. But what did you guys think about Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, the Robert Englund story? Obviously, the title, Dreams, because of the good things, and Nightmares because of Freddie, but also further. Yeah, what did you guys think of the documentary? I'm super curious to hear your thoughts. And do you think that you'll get the collector's Blu-ray? Do you think that you'll get the Steelbook version of this? Do you think that you're not ever going to watch this documentary? Let me know in the comments, because I very much want to be able to talk to everybody. I love this documentary. It's great. Also, justice for Kane Hodder. We never got to see Freddie face off against Kane's Jason. And that's what everybody wanted. And they talk about that in this. Should have happened. Justice for Kane Hodder. Justice. Yeah, you know what, John? Me too. I love Freddy versus Jason. It's my favorite summertime popcorn flick. Heck yes, Jason Thomas. I wish that it comes to you very soon so that you could also enjoy it. The Steelbook is great. Honestly, I'm hoping that things don't sell out or anything and more people can get it, because the other day when I was trying to buy it, the day that it came out, it was like sold out. And I was like, but I clicked like another time and I got it, and it got here pronto, and I'm super jazzed about it. Bunch of his other works that I never have seen in a while. That's so cool. How was that, seeing that in a theater with a bunch of people? I bet that would be just terrific, because I've seen 2 Nightmare documentaries in a theater. I've seen I Am Nancy, 2011 Midwest premiere. Actually, it was the world premiere. Oh, no, it was the Midwest premiere. That's right. Some other people had seen it before me. And Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street. Their advanced screening, but it's actually, the premiere of like ever in the world. They just got to call it different things for reasons. Jim said, I'll have to tell you a very touching story about Freddy versus Jason. Never thought those words would get together. When I see you next, please do. I want to see it. Let's see. We have a starred comment here from Andy. What's your opinion on the Scream 7 news that came out today? So, after A Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream is my favorite. And if you guys did not hear, Radio Silence will not be doing Scream 7. They did Scream 5 and 6, but they will not be doing Scream 7 because apparently there's a big monster movie they're working on. What if it is Nightmare? I don't know. What if it is? Like, what if Blumhouse just, took them? I don't know. We'll see. But so, yeah, Radio Silence is not going to do it. And the director of Freaky and Happy Death Day, he is doing the directing for this, which I'm super excited about, because honestly, I love those movies. And whatever genre, dark comedy, Blumhouse dark comedy, that is after slashers, is my favorite genre of horror movies. and then comes Halloween anthology movies. But I absolutely love those dark, like, teen comedies. They're so great, so great. And so I really think he'll knock it out of the park. I mean, we love Radio Silence, and they have done a magnificent job, but I am so on board for this. I think this dude is actually pretty great with the movies that he makes. So it's like two of my favorite things come together. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, dude, I hope you get there ASAP, because you never know. Oh my gosh, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Good choice there, bud. Good choice. The best of the best. I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. So there we have it. Steelbook is worth picking up. It's a 4 flaming pumpkins out of a possible 5 flaming pumpkins, which is a real rating system. And the documentary itself is also 4 out of 5 flaming pumpkins, which is a real rating system. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you think of this Steelbook and the documentary. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. I recently got back onto Letterboxd and left a review. I totally forgot that I had a Letterboxd. The last review that I had was in 2019 on Happy Death Day 2, and I wrote a book. Very, very interesting angle that I was coming from with all of that. And then all of a sudden I just logged a bunch of stuff in my Letterboxd. And I don't know if anybody really, is interested in my snide little comments or whatever. But yeah, you can go on, check me out on the Letterboxd. All that jazz. Thank you guys for watching Scream 7. I'm curious. Hopefully it is one of the meta elements that I talked about, or inspired by Scream 3 in some way, shape, or form. I have high hopes. Everything's coming up daisies. We got a Nightmare on Elm Street news, potentially. We've got this beautiful, beautiful Steelbook, and we've got Scream 7 in the works. Guys, viva Las Horror Vegas. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. And oh, by the way, we have a video coming out this weekend. It's new. Let me know what you think. We have just a ton of things that we're working on. We're constantly busy. And maybe when you're busy, you can listen or watch in the background. Leave us a like, leave us a comment. It helps us get seen by more people. And if you're feeling fancy, wancy, Nancy, subscribe for more content and me talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street a lot. So, all right, I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night. Watch good horror movies and stay spooky, my friends. Goodbye.